kept my campaign promises to all of you. I fight every day in every way I can to stop the Democrats' communist agenda. One way I've done that is by calling for roll call votes, putting Congress on record. Now, by demanding transparency and forcing Congress to vote on record, I've defeated radical bills like Squad member Cori Bush's bill to allow felons to vote in jail. That should never happen.
No.
But we stopped it. That's more than any top-ranking Republican accomplished on any House committee. Not only that, I filed America First legislation. I've authored legislation to preserve and protect our Second Amendment. I've offered bills to impeach Joe Biden 4 times. Bills to fire Dr. Anthony Fauci. Bills to expel insurrectionist Maxine Waters. Bills to eliminate the ATF. Bills to ban vaccine mandates, and bills to secure our southern border and finish President Trump's wall.
Yeah.
I even released my own congressional oversight report on my visit to the Washington, D.C. jail, which currently houses January 6th pretrial defendants, still to this day. My report revealed the horrific conditions they face. I called for an end to the abuse of pretrial defendants and for the termination of the person overseeing their care, Deputy Warden Kathleen Landerkin. I've hit a few roadblocks on the way, perhaps because the Washington elites realized that I would always put you, the voters, first. Just after I was sworn in, Democrats recognized me as the biggest threat to their communist agenda in Congress and made me their #1 target. We can remember all those news stories. Well, they kicked me off committees, not just Democrats, but unfortunately 11 Republicans, because they knew I wasn't going to go along with their America Last establishment agenda. They kicked me off because they realized, you know what? I'm just like you. I'm a proud American, and I'm tired of the business as usual in the swamp.
Yes.
Now, to tell you the truth, in the current 117th Congress, committees are useless for Republicans. Republicans are in the minority, and Nancy Pelosi rules Congress with an iron fist. GOP bills and amendments are rejected and hardly see the light of day. But that won't last forever. When Republicans take back the majority in 2022, it's going to be a different story. I'll be back on committees. You can count on that. Our party will have the power to make those committees useful and hold Democrats and the deep state who have put our country through hell accountable. I ran for Congress in 2020 because I was sick and tired of Republicans doing absolutely nothing.
Yes.
Even when they're put in charge. Holding hands with Democrats got us here. What are we, over $30 trillion in debt now? It's a shame. I'm running for re-election because my work to put people over politicians is just beginning. Failed leaders like Mitch McConnell and neocons like Dan Crenshaw, who, by the way, I think is in Ukraine and probably visiting Davos with Klaus Schwab, are eager to work with Democrats to pass Joe Biden's America Last agenda. They reject the priorities of grassroots conservatives, but so long as I'm in Congress, you will always have a voice. You will always have a champion working for each and every single one of you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I've been in Washington, D.C. on your behalf for almost a year and a half. Seems like maybe 10 or 20 years. So I've had the chance to learn a few things. And tonight, I'd like to let you in on a little secret. The people you see on TV and press conferences or walking the halls of Congress, you know, the diabolical, evil masterminds who always seem 2 steps ahead, the ones who have caused us all so much misery, they're actually idiots. Surprise! But you you already knew that. The only reason they get away with the things they get away with is because Republicans haven't stood up to them. When the elites wield the power of the state against patriots, they can be terrifying. I'm shocked at the cruel and illegal treatment of many nonviolent January 6th protesters, while over 95% of Antifa and Black Lives Matter domestic terrorists had their charges dropped. That's a two-tiered justice system, and that shouldn't exist in our country. But our enemies in Washington aren't as smart as they think they are, and they're not unbeatable. They're good at one thing, though. They watch who and what gets popular, and they decide whether to take it out and strangle it or take it over and claim the credit. Whether it's Democrats following AOC off a cliff into communism or Republicans rushing to embrace the populist wing of our own party, the elites scramble to copy what we say and then pretend it was their idea all along. They do these things because they simply don't care about you. In fact, they look down on us and they hate us. They know that if enough of us said stop, their influence would disappear. And that's what they fear the most. Their fear makes us powerful. Sending me back to Washington will send a message to the blood-sucking establishment. It is we who will set the political agenda for the next decade and not them. You see, it's the elites that don't have any true affinity for the country they govern. They prefer Davos to Dalton, Georgia. And that's a real shame. It is. So we're going to start speaking the truth more loudly and fearlessly than ever before. We're going to work together, and we're going to take our country back. Now, the globalists are going to see that we are the majority in this country, and we have both the right and the power to determine our own destiny. That's what being an American is all about, right?
That's right.
We're the majority who want an end to trans-terrorism, socialist monetary policy, endless wars and nation building across the world, and the slow drain of our sovereignty into unaccountable foreign institutions run by sinister, unelected fanatics. We're the majority who want our borders secure, American energy independence, and groceries we can afford. We're the majority who, after Roe versus Wade is overturned, will protect the lives of the innocent children in the womb from the moment of conception. We're the majority who, when we put our minds to it, can wreck the Democrats' plans for their terrifying ministry of truth and send Nina Jankowicz scuttling back to the karaoke bar where she belongs. We're the majority who even now still wants to see Hillary Clinton in jail. When conservatives work together to fight for Christian ideals, we can win. We've proven it. We can join hands to defy Democrat horrors, whether it's evil social engineering in our daughters' locker rooms, communism in the halls of Congress, or the DOJ harassing and intimidating parents at our school boards. The Republican Party has no choice but to fall in line, and they will and they want to. I can already see changes happening in Washington. Think tanks and political consultants and academics are starting to admit that the neocon project was a mistake and that globalism has gone too far and gone on too long. They're rebranding themselves populist and nationalist and America first. I don't have faith in the character or integrity of a lot of these slimy people, but I do believe in their sense of self-preservation. Believe me, they know how to survive. So when we take back the House, I believe the Republican Party will come to its senses and once again begin to reflect the priorities of ordinary working American families who have for so long been ridiculed, ignored, and taken for granted. We'll never forget being called a basket full of deplorables, right? Because I believe that we're on the verge of a great American revival. A revival so enormous and so profound that no one will be able to stand in its way. I believe that this revival of faith, family, and freedom, a revival of Christian morals and constitutional values, is ours to welcome in if we want it. I'm convinced that the establishment in Washington knows this too. They know that America's patience for tyranny, communism, child abuse, the murder of the unborn, corporations and teachers grooming our kids, and politically weaponized law enforcement agencies is at an end.
Hope so.
The era of mandates and lockdowns and jabs and censorship and lies is ending because the American people will no longer tolerate their government declaring war on its own citizens and our own values. Every politician says that an upcoming election is the most important one ever. Most of the time, that's not true. They're just trying to get people out to vote. But there is a storm brewing in our nation today. Hail and thunder are coming for the elites who despise us and who want us to eat the bugs, drink the poop water, and live in the pods and own nothing, yet somehow be happy. I'm sorry, do any of you want that future? No. So Bill Gates.
Yeah.
Y'all don't want his fake Petri dish meat?
No.
Beyond meat or something?
No.
In 2016, this nation came together to show the Hollywood elites and university professors and lying news reporters that we hold the power of self-governance. We reminded them that they are not in charge, we are. We elected Donald J. Trump. And we will make an American revival possible just when it seemed as though our nation might be lost to faceless bureaucrats, European commissions, the World Health Organization, and the World Economic Forum. Tonight I'm calling on you to help me continue the America First movement and commit to rebuilding a happier, healthier, more law-abiding, more caring, and more morally accountable America, in which we respect God and His plans for us, and in which we protect the future of our children and our grandchildren.
Yes.
And so, my friends, although tonight is a celebration, it's also an invitation. We're at the start of something here in 2022. Some people are describing it as a return of some 2016 energy. Here in Georgia's 14th district, you have power to affect change nationally in a way many other Americans don't. You're sending me back to Washington to put our country and our people first to make America great again. You and me, working together, can succeed in a place that fails you every single day. And we know that this is possible because we are already on that journey. I will continue to speak the truth and fight back against the uniparty in Washington, D.C. Together, we will hold their feet to the fire. Together, we can inspire the rest of America to be just like Northwest Georgia and elect people who will fight for you in Washington, D.C. Now, in the 118th Congress, with Republicans in power, we will launch real investigations with teeth to hold accountable and to jail bad actors in the deep state who work every day to strip away your freedoms. We will finish President Trump's border wall and secure our southern border. And we will rein in big tech companies and stop those woke corporations from shutting down and silencing conservatives and destroying our freedom of speech.
Yeah.
We will stop the evil influence of the Chinese Communist Party in our economy and our institutions.
Yo, yeah.
We will achieve American energy independence again. And we will investigate and fire Dr. Anthony Fauci. Nobody voted for him in the first place. We will kick Adam Schiff and Eric Swalwell off committees so they can no longer pervert our Constitution.
Yes.
And yes, if we work hard and if we want it badly enough, we will impeach Joe Biden. As many of you know, I have a great relationship with President Trump. He's my favorite president after all. I'm going to work with him to deliver the America First policies that America needs and America desperately wants. We miss him, don't we?
Yes.
I think the whole world misses President Trump right now. I pray that you'll show the same faith in me this coming November that you have tonight, Georgia, and I thank you for that. The same faith that you did 2 years ago. Meanwhile, I look forward to a Republican majority in 2022. I also look confidently ahead at the presidential election in 2024. We can and we will win that race too. And we have to, if we truly want to save America and stop communism. We're going to lead the way. Now, last of all, thank you, thank you, thank you. May God bless every single one of you, every single one of you. And may God bless the great state of Georgia. And let's save America and stop communism. Thank you so much.
How long I hold it?